With knowledge, with intuition, with power. Soul Rise Woman. Begin. Hello, I'm Soul Rise Woman. Today we'll talk about a subject we've all heard of, sometimes believed in, sometimes questioned: astrology. Sometimes it is seen as a tool to predict the future. Sometimes it is dismissed as nonsense. But in reality, astrology has roots in thousands of years of observation and symbolism, and it entered my life in a very personal way. I first encountered astrology in 2017. At first, it looked like a simple curiosity, but over time, I realized it was a language and a roadmap. In 2023, I began formal training in astrology, and since 2024, I've been giving consultations to women, supporting them in their life journeys. Here, I want to make something clear. Astrology is still defined today not as a science, but as a wisdom or esoteric knowledge. It is not validated by modern scientific standards, but as a symbolic language, it continues to provide awareness to people. In other words, astrology is not a scientific fact, but an ancient system of observation and symbolism. And even in 2025, it still holds this position: how astrology entered my life and my journey. For me, astrology began with simple curiosity. Looking up at the sky and seeing the planets and stars moving in order fascinated me. But soon, I realized this was not just a hobby, but a deep symbolic language. As I studied charts, I noticed I could interpret people's character traits accurately. My intuition helped a lot, but I always treated astrology as a system of mathematical calculations and tried to stay balanced. By analyzing the charts of my friends, family, and circle, I not only started understanding future potentials, but also the karmic cycles of the past. Balancing the past and the future, I learned to interpret without fear, always in a way that is useful and empowering. Because for me, the most important thing is to create awareness for my client. Predicting the future and being right is secondary. My true goal is to help someone recognize their own patterns and struggles, find healing, and live a happier life. For me, astrology is less about predicting the future and more about guidance and self-discovery. Misconceptions and myths. One of the biggest misconceptions about astrology is that it's just horoscopes. You're a Pisces, so you're always emotional. Comments like this oversimplify astrology. Real astrology is the map of the sky at the exact moment of your birth. And this is not just about one sign. Modern research also shows that human personality cannot be explained through a single sign, but astrology as a symbolic language can still empower self-awareness. Fears and misguidance. Unfortunately, there are also those who use astrology as a language of fear. During this period, you will definitely break up. Mercury is in retrograde. Your life will be ruined. This kind of fatalism transforms astrology into a fear-based system. But astrology does not dictate destiny. It reveals potentials and energies. Women especially are misled when astrology is used this way, causing them to restrict their own freedom. This is far from the true essence of astrology. How astrology empowers women. For women, astrology can act as a roadmap. It helps us understand our emotional cycles, especially our connection with lunar phases. It reveals patterns in our relationships, where we repeat, where we must set boundaries. It supports us in career choices and personal development by strengthening our inner compass. Research shows that individuals who gain insight into their personality dynamics, whether through astrology or psychological analysis, develop greater self-awareness and life satisfaction. My experience in astrological consultations. In my consultations, the most powerful moment is when a woman sees her potential reflected in her chart. When she says, "I didn't know I had this side to me," her eyes shine, and that light reminds me why astrology is so valuable. Astrology is not about trapping people in boxes, it is about showing them their inner freedom. Today we explored astrology, its misconceptions, fears, its contributions to women, and my personal journey. Remember, the sky is a map, but the path is drawn by you. Astrology does not limit you. It makes your inner light visible. And if you'd like more episodes about astrology on Soul Rise Woman, leave your questions and curiosities in the comments. See you in the next podcast.